Good evening, History 100. It's Professor Luna. It's Saturday night, and I am recording this video to talk about the annotated bibliography. We've been discussing this assignment for some time now, and especially if you've been joining us in the Zoom meetings, you're familiar with what the details are, but I know not everybody's able to make it. In addition, I have some bad news to break to you. I was not able to record our last meeting. I'm not sure what happened. I was 100% sure that I had recorded the video, our meeting. I went back to look at the area where our recorded video should be, and lo and behold, I could not find the video. So I do apologize in advance for not having this week's Zoom meeting up for you. At this time, I do not have a recorded copy of that meeting. I would be glad to meet with you to discuss what we went over with Ali Jordan, which is one of our SWC librarians. So if that's something you're interested in, please let me know. The second announcement I want to make is that we will not be meeting this Tuesday. I'm not able to make it to our meeting this Tuesday, so I'm going to give you that free time to work on this annotated bibliography. All right, I pushed the due date to Tuesday at the end of the day, and you can always turn it in after that as well. And so that's the goal of this video that I'm sharing with you this evening, is to talk a little bit about the essay assignment, the annotated bibliography. I'm sure you're getting bombarded with assignments and different responsibilities, especially at this time in the semester. This is where these assignments start to kind of pile up, not only in our class, but I'm sure in your other classes as well. So let me talk a little bit about the annotated bibliography. Again, as I mentioned, this assignment is now going to be due Tuesday, October 5th. This annotated bibliography is going to be similar to a bibliography that you would find at the end of an essay. The key distinction for this assignment is that you will provide an annotation for each of the sources. Let's take a look at the details of the essay assignment. As I mentioned, the due date was updated to Tuesday, October 5th. So if you need an extra day, you have it. We won't be meeting, as I mentioned, on Tuesday. The assignment objectives are to apply MLA or APA or any academic formatting method that you are familiar with. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's some type of formatting style. You will also summarize potential sources and explain their usefulness as it applies to your essay. Tell me about the source, summarize it. How do you plan to use it? Why did you select this source to be listed in your annotated bibliography? So you'll find 4 potential sources for your essay assignment. At least one should be a primary source. If you're not sure what that is, go back to our week 1 module. And if you're still not sure what a primary source is, please reach out to me and I'll be glad to talk to you about primary sources. But really, to boil it down, a primary source is like what many would call a firsthand account. It's definitely something that is produced at the time of your historical event. So say if you're doing the Civil War, if you encounter a journal from a soldier who fought in a battle in the Civil War, that's a primary source. If you encounter a newspaper article that talks about a battle that was written and then published during that time, that's also a primary source. Okay, you'll create a bibliography list. Under each source, provide an annotation. The annotation should be at least 1 paragraph long. Summarize the source and explain why it is a useful source for the essay. And you can also, which is see sample annotated bibliographies for examples. The sample annotated bibliographies are located on our history essay module, and you can click on this link here. It's going to take you to 2 sample annotated bibliographies. This is helpful so that you can model your paper to reflect some of the traits of the assignment that's submitted here. You'll see the student has included the source information here. It's properly formatted. And then under the source, they discuss what the source is, they summarize it, and they also talk a little bit about why it might be useful for their essay. So there you have it, a quick blurb about about annotated bibliographies. Again, please reference the sample annotated bibliographies and please reference the instructions for the assignment. Let me know what questions you have. Send me a message via Canvas. I'd be glad to chat with you. Just a reminder, we won't meet this Tuesday. I'll send out an announcement this evening as I post this video. You all have a great weekend. Reach out to me if you need anything between now and then, and we'll talk during the week. Definitely be talking during the week. I apologize for not being able to meet this Tuesday, but hopefully you can use that time to help you with whatever you got going on that day. Have a great evening. Have a great weekend. Talk to y'all soon.